Just now, or just a few hours ago, Ripple's Spring Development Fund and Forte have just announced a joint $100 million fund to support blockchain gaming and integrating blockchain and cryptocurrencies into gaming. This is something I've been talking about for a while. I truly think that blockchain gaming is going to be one of the biggest trending areas in the months and the years to come. And this is really only just the beginning, as various other platforms are working on integrating blockchain into the development ecosystem. So blockchain games are going to be absolutely massive. So in today's video, we're going to talk about this fund, what it actually means. Then we're going to go into some of the other exciting projects that are integrating cryptocurrencies into their games, some of the platforms behind them, some of the topics I've discussed on this channel and on my blog before about gaming, and then really what the future holds for blockchain games. So stick around, this is definitely one you don't want to miss, guys. So let's get into the video. So we had this press release just come out literally just a few hours ago. Forte and Ripple's Spring form a $100 million fund to accelerate mainstream use of blockchain in games. Now, before we get into that, this isn't the first fund that has been formed to support blockchain games. EOS did it late last year. They formed a fund as well, I believe in partnership with Pantera Capital, to support blockchain games. Why are they doing this? Well, because guys, here's the thing. Gaming is continually growing around the world. Gaming is extremely popular across all devices. You've only got to look at the impact games like Fortnite, CSGO, League of Legends have had on the subculture, especially of millennials around the world. It's huge. And existing games have already got economies in them before blockchain and cryptocurrencies came along. I mean, just do a little bit of research, if you don't believe me, on World of Warcraft, on games like RuneScape, on Second Life, where people literally had digital careers in these games, some of them earning over 6 figures, selling digital items. And this was like a decade ago. And now we have cryptographically secure digital assets in the form of non-fungible tokens. So you can have items that cannot be duplicated, cannot be fraudulently created, are provably rare. And then you have digital assets, like just cryptocurrencies, that can be integrated into these games to take away the native digital currency they may have in the game and replace it with a blockchain asset that can be transferred into other assets. I mean, honestly, the potential here is so massive. So these, so things like this announcement is really just these companies starting to see the writing on the wall that gaming is the next, or one of the next massive areas that is going to be for blockchain. And let me tell you, some of the platforms, which we'll get into a bit, I believe could be extraordinarily successful in this as well. So this particular partnership is between Forte and Ripple's Spring. They formed a $100 million fund to accelerate mainstream use of blockchain in games. So what that really means is they're going to give, they will likely give like development grants to games, to gaming companies that they like, that have achieved a certain level of success. They'll apply for a grant. They'll be given a grant, like let's just say, for example, it might be 100,000, might be 50,000, I don't know. If they implement blockchain technology using Ripple's platform into their existing game. Now, important point to note here, that A16Z, or Z, however you want to pronounce it, backed Forte to equip game developers with blockchain platform tools and funding. Now, A16Z is Andreessen Horowitz. That is a venture capital firm founded by Mark Andreessen and Andrew Horowitz. Now, they're two titans in the VC world, very famous, very wealthy, have had huge success in their own companies. And that's an important point to note here, that we have some titans of the venture capital industry getting behind blockchain games. So Spring did a little bit of research into it. Is this Ripple initiative that builds infrastructure and helps innovative blockchain projects grow through investments and partnerships. We are strongly focused on building projects that build on and utilize XRP and XRP Ledger. Fair enough. Now, Forte, Forte is accelerating the adoption of blockchain technology in the games industry by equipping developers with easy-to-use technology and tools that lay a new foundation for player-driven game economies, better aligning incentives between players and publishers. We've got down here some blogs forging the future of games, blah, blah, blah. So, look, this is really just scratching the surface, guys. There are so many funds. There are so many supporting companies. There are so many businesses out there building tools for games to be able to quickly and easily implement blockchain into their existing, and this is the key. These software development kits by these various companies, which we'll look at in just a moment, are working on tools that allow existing games with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of users, to easily and quickly implement blockchain into existing games. So this is not just new games. This is implementing crypto into existing games. Now we can see Engine Coin, anyone following the markets will know the insane performance this coin has had over the past week. So even though it's corrected a small amount, Engine Coin is still up nearly 500%. 500% in just a couple of weeks. I mean, wow, that is huge. And that isn't, guys, that's in a bear market. That's in a bear market. So this is the thing, guys. There are some platforms out there that have coins associated with them that are intrinsically tied into the development process that require these companies that want to implement blockchain into their platforms, that require the purchase and utility of these coins. So there are huge opportunities here to get in on some of the coins behind these companies, these platforms that are successfully bringing development kits and tools to game developers to implement blockchain technology. I mean, we're really only just scratching the surface as to the potential that blockchain and cryptocurrency are going to have in games in the future. And that's the crazy thing about gaming is it's both, with some games, it's both an entertainment value to the person sacrificing the time to play it. So you're getting entertainment, that's relaxation. That's, you know, some R&R. So that's that entertainment factor. But you also have the financial factor as well. You also have the economic incentive. So you have entertainment incentive, economic incentive. And the games that pull this off properly will literally enable people to earn a decent income playing some of these games. Now, I don't know which games that are going to be. I don't know what model they're going to follow. But like I mentioned earlier, a decade ago, there were people playing games like Second Life, even World of Warcraft and other games where they were selling some of these assets on black markets or eBay or something. They were literally making enough money to get by. I personally know people that were making enough money to get by. I mean, there is just so much potential here. So Engine is like a platform where they're building developer tools that enable developers to integrate blockchain into their games. The coin, the Engine Coin, is inherently tied to this entire process. So these guys have created a lot of utility around their coin that requires developers to purchase the coin either through an exchange or through crowdfunding or a partnership or something else, and then actually use that coin to gain access to the developer tools. Now, that's it at a high level. I haven't looked into Engine and its token economics in detail. But what I do know is it seems to me that they're ticking all the boxes. They're hitting all the right marks in terms of what they're doing, the partnerships they're forming, and their communication. So they're all over it. Non-fungible tokens, fungible tokens, they've got this mint and melt thing that allows these games to back the value of their in-game tokens with Engine Coin. I mean, that's really, really interesting to do that. That's an interesting utility that they've built into their platform. So integrate, here we go, keyword integrate. Use our easy-to-use SDKs to integrate blockchain with your game. Use pre-built token supply models or code your own smart contracts. So these guys are just killing it. They've partnered with Unity. And look, they've got a bunch of games here that are actually implementing engine. Now, it's important to note that I think a lot of this value was a speculative jump. However, it was based on rumors that Engine is partnering with Samsung. And this is the thing. All these technology companies, even companies outside of using blockchain, know games are where it's at. They know blockchain is a trending area, and they're all going to be coming together to make it happen. I mean, this is what the companies do. Companies will pivot to trending areas and leverage their existing technologies for that. And Samsung are coming out with their Key Vault or something like that, which allows people to store their private keys on their Samsung phone. I believe it's the S10 that's going to enable to do that. So you're going to have military-grade encryption that will enable people to safely store private keys on their phone. So very, very, very cool stuff. Now, just to support how, I guess, passionate and strongly I feel about where blockchain games is going, this is a post I wrote back in November 2018. I was talking about it before this, but this is a post I wrote, Why Blockchain Games Are Key to Mass Adoption. The title of the first paragraph here, Blockchain Games Will Be Massive. Now, I don't want to run through the entire post. You guys can do that in your own time, but I do want to read through kind of my conclusion here, as I think it really reflects where I saw things were going and how the actual industry is playing out exactly as I thought it was going to. So I say here, don't get left behind. As odd as all of this may sound to some, I can assure you it is the future. Blockchain games, online multiplayer, virtual items, all of it, it's going to keep growing. Rest assured, as internet speeds bring us closer together and as the younger generations spend more time online, the virtual world is only going to grow. I foresee many games implementing blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies in the future. Blockchain games will become the standard as players will want real virtual currency rewards for their efforts. Games that only give out in-game rewards will suffer. Those that provide cryptocurrencies as the in-game money that can then be traded for Bitcoin or real money will thrive. Virtual estate, collectibles, and virtual marketplaces will explode. Decentralized exchanges will likely be the value exchange mechanism that facilitates it. These decentralized exchanges will allow automated cross-chain trading of multiple assets. Furthermore, the blockchain the assets belong to will not matter. Integration will be achieved by developers using an API connecting a decentralized exchange to the game or wallet. Now, here we have, just as of today or yesterday, Bancor launches wallet for on-chain conversions between Ethereum and EOS tokens. So here's the first part of the implementation that I foresaw was coming. It was clear that decentralized wallets and platforms will allow interoperability or cross-chain transactions between different blockchains. Now, the way this is going to work is games will have, they might have a native token, but to give their users more flexibility and adaptability, they will use interoperable decentralized exchanges as the backend. This is how this thing is going to play out, because this is going to allow users to swap value between chains within a single game. This is really important because as more and more of these blockchains grow and we have different value propositions for each, there's likely in the future, let's say 5 years' time, to be 2, 3, maybe even 4 major blockchains that are going to capture most of the market share. I don't foresee there being any more than that. I think realistically, to expect more than 5 is not conducive to how the free market works. Developers and users are going to go to what is easy, what is convenient, what is cheap, what is effective. And I think about 3, 4, maybe 5 blockchains are going to do that. But each of these blockchains are going to have different value propositions. So what there's going to be is there's going to be decentralized exchanges as the backend that's going to facilitate cross-chain transfer using smart contracts as like a federated peg, where one asset goes in, becomes locked, and another asset comes out. And that's how that's essentially how the coding language will work to enable the cross swapping of these assets. So this is really just the beginning. Bancor launching this is just the beginning. I mean, we are like at the very beginning of the technology adoption curve for where crypto and gaming is going to go. And I think it's so exciting. As a previous passionate gamer myself, I hardly get time to play games anymore. I'm so excited for how games are going to be in the future, where your time is not just valued in terms of entertainment, it's valued in terms of economy. So what do I mean by that? Well, your time, your attention is going to be rewarded monetarily. So you're going to have the entertainment factor, but you're also going to have huge incentives monetarily to play games. This is years down the track. I'm telling you, this is how it's going to happen. It's all going to be facilitated by cryptocurrencies and blockchain and interoperable decentralized exchange swaps. Now, before we go, guys, I talk about this in detail in our brand new course. So this course was just launched, 5 hours of content, 33 lectures. I have a whole section on blockchain gaming and virtual assets. Why? Because I see it as a hugely trending area. As I just showed you my blog that I wrote nearly 5 months ago. So I go through what is blockchain gaming, the statistics and the growth of gaming. So I support it by data and evidence that shows how insanely big this industry is starting to become, the gaming industry in general. I then go into examples of virtual currencies in games like RuneScape, World of Warcraft, and V-Bucks in Fortnite. I then go into in detail cryptocurrency collectible tokens and how these are going to be hugely important in games in the future and where opportunities may lie with existing platforms and existing coins that may be adopted into some of these games. And then I give you my personal outlook and opinion on the gaming and VR outlook for 2019. So a lot of extremely valuable information that I don't discuss on this channel is contained in this course. If you're interested, there's a link in the description for 77% off just for my YouTube subscribers. Link in the description that will give you a better discount than what is displayed on this screen. So guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please consider giving me a like. Likes are really appreciated. It tells me that you enjoy my content and you support it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to come on board for more and more videos. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about crypto gaming. Do you have a counter opinion? Do you have a counter thoughts as to where I see things going? Please let me know. If you have any suggestions for future content, guys, please let me know as well. So guys, I just want to say thanks for watching. I appreciate your time and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.